Alrighty, this is Jay. Welcome in to Retro Time. And let me clear off my let me clear this off real quick, see if that makes a difference. Camera issues on your phone. Alright. Let me see. I did pull up some news. I haven't gotten very much into looking at it because I was busy setting this up. Like, alright. So, this Alienware gaming PC with an RTX 4060 Ti is 400 off right now. Why is this woman right here? Oh. Yeah, let's read about the computer. This Alienware gaming PC with an RTX 4060 Ti is 400 off right now. Gamers should be extra careful when looking at gaming PC deals, as some cheap machines won't be able to meet requirements of today's video games. That's currently not the case with the powerful Alienware Aurora R15 now, which is available from Dell with a $400 discount that slashes its prices from $2,000 to $1,600. It's not exactly affordable, but you should be ready to make a significant investment if you want a reliable gaming desktop like this one. You'll have to hurry with your purchase though, as we're not sure how much time remains before the savings are taken offline. The Alienware Aurora R15 challenges the performance of the best gaming PCs with the 13th generation Intel Core i7 processor, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 Ti graphics card, and 16 gigabytes of RAM. That recommended number of our guide on everything you need to build a gaming PC. Not only will you have no trouble playing the best PC games with the specifications, but you also be prepared for the best upcoming PC games. However, when you eventually need upgrades, it will be easy to swap the components of the Alienware Aurora R15 gaming PC. That's enough space for several AAA titles on Alienware Aurora R15 gaming PC, 1 terabyte SSD, which also comes with the Windows 11 Home preloaded, so you can start installing your favorite video games right after you hook up the machine to the gaming monitor and other necessary peripherals. It also features liquid cooling technology, 5 fans, and honeycomb-shaped vents to maintain peak performance even after you've been playing for several hours. The Alienware Aurora R15 gaming PC is a powerful machine that will live up to the expectations of gamers, and it's currently on sale from Dell for $1,600. The $400 savings on the original price of $2,000 won't stay available forever though. It may actually be gone as soon as tomorrow, so there's no time to waste. If you're interested in this gaming desktop, add the Alienware Aurora R15 gaming PC to your cart and proceed with the checkout process as soon as possible, because if you don't, there's a chance that you miss out on a discount. Top exec. Hold on, let me shrink this a little bit. All right. Top exec reportedly leaves PlayStation after 34 years. Sony Interactive Entertainment SVP and head of internal production Connie Booth has left the PlayStation maker, according to a newly emerged report. Booth has been with the conglomerate since 1989, having originally worked at PlayStation Sony Electronic Publishing Company before joining SIE back when it was still called Sony Computer Entertainment in 1995. Both has hence worked at Sony's gaming division since the original PlayStation console was less than a year old. She spent a majority of her time at the company in senior leadership positions. Oh, they were good, man. Yeah, I watched them. Yeah. I don't know. I forgot. I was gonna say something, but then I automatically forgot. But yeah, I like them. Keep them up. That's how your channel does so good. Like you do video game clips like that, and then people just watch it. Um, I do that. I gotta get back into doing that, creating clips for the channel that like involve me, not like actually being in the video. But all right, the Sony Entertainment SVP, head of internal production, Connie Booth, has left the PlayStation marker, according to a newly emerged report. Booth has been with the conglomerate since 1989, having originally worked at PlayStation Electronic Publishing Company before joining SIE back when it was still called Sony Computer Entertainment in 1995. Booth has hence worked at Sony gaming division since the original PlayStation console was less than a year old. She spent the majority of her time at the company in senior leadership position, having first been appointed executive producer in 1997 before being promoted to director of product development a year later. She was then elevated to a senior director role in 2007 before becoming the department's VP in 2012. Both served as the SIE SVP and head of internal production since 2020. Her stint, what is that? At the gaming giant has now come to an end, according to David Jaffe, a former, is that his name? Is that, never mind. A former ISE employee best known for as the creator of God of War. Okay, that is David Jaffe from God of War. In a October 23 video posted on his YouTube channel, Jaffe reported that Booth left the ISE earlier this year, citing multiple sources familiar with the matter, although the circumstances leading to her purported departure from the company are unclear. Jaffe relayed several insider accounts, suggesting she was fired. Moreover, her team was supposedly walked out of the building as part of the supposed fallout. While the insider admitted to being uncertain about whether these accounts of her departure are overly dramatic. Go ahead, do those. I actually haven't seen those in a while. Departure are overly dramatic. He insisted that Booth is definitely no longer at SIE. The claim itself is said to have been corroborated by two current Sony officials as well as two external sources. Jaffe also reported that Booth was replaced by PlayStation Studios VP and head of development strategy, Angie Smet, and the Angie Smets, the Netherlands-born executive, has been in her current role since April, when she left Horizon Development Guerrilla Game following a 20-year stint at the studio. Whether Booth already left SIE back in spring is unclear. High-level executive changes at the companies the size of Sony are commonly communicated to the public with little delay, or even in advance, at least when they happen to amicable terms. The most recent example of that practice is at SIE is PlayStation boss Jim Ryan retirement announcement from late September, assuming Booth is indeed no longer at Sony. The fact that the departure has yet to be announced seemingly adds credence to Jaffe's claims that she was fired. Yeah, PlayStation's not having a good time right now. New Far Cry game leaked. According to a new rumor, Ubisoft has a second Far Cry game in development alongside the previous leaked Far Cry 7. Far Cry remains one of Ubisoft's most popular franchises, and so it's no surprise that the entries in the franchise are on the way. Fans should take these rumors with a grain of salt, but the leaks have come from sources that has proven to be fairly reliable in the past. Insider Gaming previously leaked the existence of Far Cry 7, claiming that the new game will be releasing in 2025 and using a Snowdrop engine as featured in massive entertainment divisions. Games in Avatar, Frontier, or Pandora. The report indicates that Far Cry 7 will see major shakeups to the established Far Cry formula, with players having to race against a 72-hour clock to save the kidnapped family members from a dangerous group called the Son of Truth. If the report is to be believed, family members can be rescued in any order, but they also can be killed, which will change what happens in the story. The Far Cry 7 leak have yet to be proven, but now a new leak from Insider Gaming has claimed a reveal information. In addition, Far Cry Project, according to the report, the other Far Cry game is a multiplayer extraction shooter known by the codename Project Maverick. And why are they going by a name of a name from Mega Man? Project Mavericks are from Mega Man. Alright. In it, players can expect typical Far Cry gameplay, with players able to craft new gear and helpful in items from the resources they gather in the game world. New Far Cry game will supposedly feature a headquarters where players can stash items for safekeeping, but otherwise the game permadeath system means players lose everything if they die. In additional details revealed by Insider Gaming reports that the Far Cry multiplayer game is set in a fictional version of Alaska and that it will likely be released before Far Cry 7, with April 2025 pointed to as a possible release month. Fans should wait for official information from Ubisoft before getting to invest in the idea of a Far Cry extraction shooter game. But nothing claimed in the Insider Gaming reports outlandish. Reports seem outlandish. Sorry, I got hiccups. If the rumors are true, that wouldn't even be the first time that Far Cry has dabbled in online multiplayer. Most Far Cry games feature co-op of some description, while Far Cry 3 also had traditional competitive multiplayer mode. Ubisoft had some trouble getting online multiplayer-focused games off of the ground in recent years, so even after the official announcement comes, fans may want to keep their expectations in check until the new Far Cry game has actually launched. I haven't been keeping up with Far Cry. I played like one Far Cry game, and that was it. And it was Far Cry 3, I believe it was. And then after that, I didn't play any Far Cry games. There was a lot of them that looked really, really cool, but like the thing about Far Cry games is I don't really see any connection between any of them, and they just keep making this franchise. So it's been like that for a while. So I don't know if Far Cry 3 is just like it's just individual stories that are based on like really dangerous situations and stuff like that. That's what I get from it. So there was somebody recently that said Taylor Swift is a cult leader or something like that. Something really outrageous about like how Taylor Cole is like in charge of like everything, like the NFL. Like she's just very popular, that's all. I'm not gonna read that. That's not. I want to read this because this got really, really awful reviews. Skull Island Rise of Kong developers speak out about the bad reviews. The team behind the recently launched and widespread panned Skull Island Rise of Kong have spoken out about the game's bad reception, revealing that it was only in development for a year. Released on October 17th, Skull Island Rise of Kong features a young King Kong on a quest to avenge the death of his parents. He set he set he set out across the Eponiosum Island, growing from a young orphan to a mature and powerful ape to seek out the land's alpha predator Go. Before Skull Island Rise of Kong even officially released, imagine the clips of the game began appearing on social media. None of the accompanying captions were favorable, with the majority mocking or expressing disbelief at the state of the game. In short, it looked like the PS2 release that was fit to the challenge Lord of the Rings Gollum for the title of worst game of 2023. Even at the time of writing, Rise of Kong has only 57 reviews on Steam, sits at mostly a negative rating. Some of the game's developers at Iguana B in Santiago, Chile, spoke with The Verge and revealed that the game was only in development for a year, which essentially doomed it from the start. In other words, Skull Island, Rise of Kong, fell victim to a development cycle that often affiliates licensed games. A tight turnaround time and even tighter budget. Members of the Iguana B team who speak anonymously for fear of repercussion of the publisher stated that work on the game began in June 2022 and crunch kicked in around February 2023, with development expected to be complete in June 2023. Skull Island was published, an aptly named company, Game Mill, which apparently regularly contracts small indie developers to crank out games quickly. This inevitability compromises the quality, even from workers who might otherwise produce good games. One former Iguana B employee who didn't help with Skull Island, but had experience with the other game mill titles, stated that the team very often didn't receive the information necessary to do the job well. This was quite frustrating because we had we had to improvise with the limited information we had on hand, the developer said. The tight budget, of course, further impacted the successful completion of the projects. Game Mill would simply not provide enough money to retain experienced staff, and another Iguana B developer recounted the story of a colleague who was laid off despite having been on the team longer. Deep down, I knew it was because the publisher didn't provide them with enough funding to maintain a certain number of people for an extended period. Despite the appearance, the development team at Iguana B is capable of producing good games. In March 2022, the studio collaborated with the developer studio Voyager and publisher Untold Tales to create What Lies in the Multiverse, an award-winning puzzle platform that currently has a positive rating on Steam. What's unfortunate is that a product like Skull Island: Rise of Kong will have negative repercussions on the reputation of Iguana B, which will therefore be less likely to receive funding for the game it wants to make. Instead, the developer will have to keep accepting contracts from Game Mill and other publishers that not only want licensed games. So yeah, they didn't give them enough time to make this game. I'm sure this game would have turned out a lot better if they would have taken the time out to work on it a little bit more, because I've seen some gameplay of it and it doesn't look horrible, but there's a lot to it that just is like the surrounding doesn't load in fast enough. Like it looks like it would have been fun, but there's like points on a map where like it doesn't even show you. Like you look at the map and it doesn't even show you where you are. Just just a whole bunch of stuff that's wrong with it that you could fix. And maybe patches will work for this, but I seriously think they released this way too early and they needed more time to work on it. That's the only answer. And they even admit that they released it too early, so alright. Alright, interesting. Nobody cares about that though. Is that when Diablo 4 players are begging Blizzard not to make one big feature easier? Wow, that's first. I haven't heard of anybody getting 100% on that game. This game right here, Hogwarts Legacy. Where are all the stories today? Alright. Alright, we can read this. Final Fantasy XIV finally getting staple MMO feature soon. So, I don't know if you play Final Fantasy XIV, but I'm still going to read this anyway. Final Fantasy XIV release confirmed chat bubble are coming to the critically acclaimed MMORPG soon. A staple feature in many of its competitors, Final Fantasy XIV players can finally look forward to the chat bubble in Ezra, or whatever that said. Though social multiplayer games handle chat differently, many MMOs like World of Warcraft and Guild Wars 2 feature bubbles that appear near a player's character when they speak. Final Fantasy XIV, however, does not feature this, with all player chat appearing exclusively in separate window. Yeah, I played Guild Wars 2. I had it downloaded. I actually paid for it, downloaded it, and then I completely lost it. So during Final Fantasy XIV Fans Festival in London, a major MMO content creator, Preach, asked if the developers were considering adding chat bubbles to the game during a meet and greet. He got confirmation that Final Fantasy XIV was indeed working on the feature. That said, Preach didn't get a time frame for when a chat bubble would be coming, meaning the feature could arrive well after a Dawn Trail expansion. Technically, there are mods and plugins for Final Fantasy XIV that can add chat bubbles into the game. However, these third-party tools are against Final Fantasy XIV's stream of service. Terms of service, meaning their use could lead to penalties against one account. For this reason, Final Fantasy XIV adding this feature natively is a huge deal. Needless to say, players are ecstatic to hear this feature is coming to the game. Chat bubble make it much easier to notice when players are speaking to one another, and they are a huge immersion tool for Final Fantasy XIV role players as well. Some players are concerned they could be distracted during battle, but most assume Final Fantasy XIV will make these chat bubbles a toggleable feature so that these fans can play without them. Final Fantasy XIV's second fan festival showed off a bunch of other new features coming in Dawn Trail next year. The Final Fantasy XIV original Viper class, a dual-wielding DPS that can combine their swords together into a double blade weapon, is the first of two jobs coming in the expansion, with a new limited job planned for subsequent content update. Additionally, Dawn Trail introduces the first graphical update for the MMO in 10 years, featuring some phenomenal visuals. Fans still have one more fan festival in January, so they can expect to learn the last bits of information about Dawn Trail after the new year. They can also look forward to a story prologue in patch 6.55, plus a long-awaited crossover event with Final Fantasy XVI. So it is no exaggeration to say 2024 will be a big year for Final Fantasy XIV fans. Apex Legends makes unexpected change for Season 19 Battle Pass. With 18 seasons of Apex Legends winding down, Response Entertainment has made the Battle Pass for Season 19 available for pre-order. While the option lets Apex Legends player buy the primary reward track for next season early, it includes bonuses that could confuse potential buyers. Season 18 of Apex Legends is expected to end October 31st, and the following season, known as Ignite, will kick off soon after. While some things have yet to be announced, the developer has revealed Conduit as the newest legend of the game. Furthermore, Response Entertainment is making several changes to ranked in Season 19 Apex Legends, looking to provide a more engaging experience for players. Along with these changes, the game is getting its customary seasonal battle pass. While the content for the battle pass has not yet been revealed, that has not stopped the developer from offering it for pre-order early. As spotted as Carl Rindo on Twitter, players can purchase either the regular version of the premium battle pass or the premium bundle for the same price. They are typically sold for during the season according to Apex Legends in-game store. In addition, the pre-order edition of each pass comes with 50 stars, equating to 5 levels for free. However, players have discussed there is a catch with this pre-order bonus, noting that the free levels only count towards Season 18 Battle Pass and not the new one coming to the end of the month. This change was highlighted by Josh Mosier, one, on the Apex Legends Uncovered subreddit, with many gamers weighing in about the opportunity to pre-order in-game content for the game. Among the comments, some gamers were confused by the developer discussion to make the stars apply to the current Battle Pass for Season 18 of Apex Legends instead of the only one instead of the one for the upcoming season. While it would aid some players in obtaining a few of the remaining cosmetics for Reassurance Battle Pass for Apex Legends, those who already unlocked all the cosmetics would not benefit from the pre-order bonus. In addition, were some unhappy the Battle Pass was being offered for purchase without revealing the Ignite cosmetics that it included first. It would be interesting to see what the Season 19 Battle Pass for the Battle Royale has offered and the reception its content receives from the community. If it continues the trend for previous Apex Legends season, there should be several new legend skins to reactive weapon skin and other small cosmetics such as guns, charms, and legend banners. Unfortunately, the wait to find out what some of the items look like shouldn't be too long, as the developer will likely release a gameplay trailer for the new seasons sometime before the launch of Season 19. Hopefully it manages to deliver for those who take the gamble and pre-order the upcoming Battle Pass. Alright. A lot of news about Final Fantasy XIV today. Too fast. I thought this show was over. I thought Stranger Things was completely done. Oh, okay, so it is done. Still want to play Mirage. There's a lot of games I want to play. New image of Assassin's Creed Red protagonist appears online. A new image of Assassin's Creed Red has appeared online, and while it doesn't seem to confirm or show off anything too serious, it does give fans a closer look at the presumed protagonist of the entry. For those unaware, Assassin's Creed Red, which is just its code name and not a confirmed title, is an upcoming open-world RPG entry in the franchise taking place in a long-requested setting in Japan. Indeed, Assassin's Creed Red appears to be Ubisoft's response to the request, fulfilling a case as far back as Assassin's Creed. One issue, is that how they're spelling it? Issue? Section of the game, or ISU section of the game, showed off an Eye of Horus, which would become Assassin's Creed Origins in Omega, symbol of Greece, which would become Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and a tour which was a hint for Assassin's Creed Red in a way. Either way, this image comes way to Ubisoft writer Perry Boredo, who uploaded the image as his LinkedIn banner. It's not clear if this was unintentional, since it's not official marketing material. It would seem, but the image still is up as of writing. The clearest detail is a look at the presumed protagonist's face. She appeared in the intentional announcement of Assassin's Creed Red, yet she was hooded and no one could see her face. Excuse me. This image highlights this image that highlights especially while also showing an Assassin's Creed logo on the right hand side. Otherwise, these symbols are usually stylized around the sector or location. Oh man, this one appeared to be stranded. This one appeared to be a stranded logo. It's worth pointing out that it appears some kanji is below the symbol, though it is cut off by the banner style as well. I take it this is the banner right here. You know, maybe they could be showing off some of their work for a reason. I don't know. I think LinkedIn is also like a profile for like jobs and all that. So, according to rumors and leaks regarding Assassin's Creed Red, the game may feature two protagonists. The first, as seen here, is said to be a female shinobi, while the second is an African samurai. The latter could be based on Yakuza, a real-life African samurai. Yes, Suki, a real-life African samurai who achieved said rank in 16th century Japan. But whether this is true remains to be seen, given one half of the equation was self-evident with the announcement trailer. As to when Assassin's Creed news will drop, it is believed to be the next console entry lined up for the franchise after the recent release of Assassin's Creed Mirage. This too, like all of this, should be taken with a grain of salt. But the stand to reason Ubisoft it has high hopes for the little given plethora of requests for this specific setting. Assassin's Creed Red is in development. So, we have Assassin's Creed Hex in development right now, which I'm really kind of curious about that one. And then we have Assassin's Creed Red. So, Assassin's Creed Red looks like it's taking place in feudal Japan. And I think we're going to see. Okay, so if you go back in time, there was a game where it was a 2D side-scrolling Assassin's Creed style game, which was interesting for its time, but I think I have a feeling that's what it's going to be based on, because she was wearing red. Just throwing that out there. See, Battlefield 2042 is still thriving after its free weekend. PlayStation, Sony, you need to pay attention to this stuff, because you could be searching for the next Call of Duty and it could be right here. Battlefield 2042 is still thriving after its free weekend. It looks like Battlefield 2042 is still thriving after its free weekend, as it has managed to set a new record of a concurrent player on Steam. EA recently allowed users across all platforms to play Battlefield 2042 for free, while also offering a huge discount on the game. This move resulted in a massive increase in Battlefield 2042 players count, as it recently broke its previous record of peak concurrent users. This record was set when Battlefield 2042 came out in November 2021. So there were more gamers playing it during the free weekend than at launch. As the game was available for free, it made sense for users on the fence to give it a try. Now, it's like Battlefield 2042 has managed to retain a healthy player base, as it has broken its peak concurrent user count once again. A user named Dominic has made a new post on Reddit showing that Battlefield 2042 managed to reach a peak player count of 105,697 users on Steam. The record has been broke again since then, as the new peak user count for Battlefield 2042 sits at 107,376 as per Steam DB. It should note that the EA is still offering a huge discount on Battlefield 2042 on Steam, and fans have until October 26 to take advantage of this deal. Regardless, it seems that like Battlefield has managed to retain user interest. It'll be interesting to see if it can reach a higher peak player count in the future. It's an impressive achievement for Battlefield 2042 to continue reaching new peak user numbers, especially considering that the controversy surrounding its launch. There was a ton of hype in the lead up to Battlefield 2042 release, but fans experienced a variety of issues while trying to play the game. This resulted in Battlefield 2042 getting reviewed bombed online, as it has a score of just 2.1 on Metacritic. EA has been releasing updates for Battlefield 2042 since its launch, With Season 6 now live for users to enjoy, the update comes with a bunch of new content, including new weapons, gadgets, a map, and more. Season 6 of Battlefield 2042 also offers some quality of life upgrade, such as better vehicle handling and improved aim assist for gamers playing with a control. Overall, it looks like Battlefield 2042 is thriving right now for a number of reasons, with more players playing it on Steam than ever before. We're down to 2 days ago. What is going on with this news? There's usually a lot today. I mean, it's Monday. They usually like blast us with like gaming news. Let's see if I can find something else to read. Let's click it again and see if anything new popped up. Alright, let's go down, see. And so, we got like 2 stories they just put in. So, I'm gonna read those, I guess, because they look like they're fresh and new, and they look pretty good. Alright, Spider-Man 2 smashes PlayStation record. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 sold really, really well compared to like what I've seen any other games in the past related to Spider-Man, but I'm not looking forward to playing this. This is a game that like a lot of people were excited about, and it just wasn't something I was excited about. And it's because the superhero genre things, it's a little overrated at this point. It's gotten to a point where it's just so overrated that we see superhero stuff, like we see this stuff everywhere now. And it gets to the point where it's like, when is enough enough? Like, Sony doesn't even own Spider-Man, and that's my other reason I like like th- this is not a Sony original created by Sony. This is them taking something from Marvel, which is Disney owned, and then running it as their own. Unfortunately, that's just how this is right now. Because Sony, for some reason, they can't sit over there and think of original ideas for themselves. They have very few original ideas, and that's why like people like me don't buy PlayStation, because they don't have enough ideas to pull people in and be like, well, this is our property and things like that. So it's like Xbox has more owned items that make me want to play them. PlayStation has nothing, because PlayStation drifted away from what they were years ago. And the last time I actually sat down and played a PlayStation was during the PlayStation 3. I touched the PS4 for a little while. I played some games on it, but I played what I would play on Xbox. I didn't play anything that was PlayStation related. And it just blows my mind how like something like somebody like some company like PlayStation can sit there and say they own like the rights to Spider-Man. You own the rights to the Spider-Man game, and you're changing it up. Spider-Man was number 2 Spider-Man, first of all. That's what I find wild about this. I don't know why they started to add this made this into a tag team thing. It's kind of sad, because Spider-Man used to be a standalone strong guy who would take care of villains, and that died because they put him now as a team. And this doesn't help a lot of stuff. Spider-Man has never had a sidekick, and what Spider-Man would be the sidekick? I don't know. I can't really say here. But I look at it this way. You took Spider-Man, you changed it up enough. Now it's not really the same Spider-Man it was years ago, and I don't know why you would change it up that much to the point where you you're just changing Spider-Man all around. It's really reality of truth is like I don't like what they're doing with this, and I think PlayStation needs to start working on something of their own. Like, you know, PlayStation, if they really wanted to, why don't you take, why don't you build your own story and build your own superhero and turn that into a comic book? Because then that might work out better for you. But like, they have Spider-Man, so I don't get it. I don't get how like they can say they own it, but like it's still owned by Marvel and Disney. So, all right. But it's just my opinion. I'm not big on the superhero genre of things anymore. I really don't care for superhero stuff anymore like I used to. That stuff used to be great, but now I still like a lot of stuff I liked back then. I'm more selective about stuff because you know I used to like Spider-Man. I used to like Spider-Man a lot, but like Spider-Man then a couple years after liking Spider-Man, it became like a really overrated superhero at that time. And superheroes in general are highly overrated. You can go anywhere and find out news about like superheroes now or superhero related stuff as opposed to like, finding stuff out about your favorite game anywhere. That's a little bit more difficult. So, Marvel Spider-Man 2 has already seen massive success with within just a few weekend within the first weekend, sorry. Following its launch, smashing sales records for PlayStation Studios in the process. The superhero sequel has been on one of the most highly anticipated games of 2023, with Insomniac's newest web-slinging adventure heavily teased throughout the year. The newest game following the iconic superhero has been multiple promotions, even receiving a limited edition Spider-Man Wheaties cereal. What is that? Wheaties? Yeah, Wheaties cereal. Now, following the game's launch on Friday, the action adventure has smashed through studio records with its initial sales. Spider-Man brings plenty of new features and content to the table for longtime fans of Insomniac's series following the tutorial. Web Slinger Spider-Man 2 features two permanent playable characters with players able to freely switch between controlling Peter Parker and Miles Morales. The game focus on Peter's affiliation with the mysterious symbiote also brings a suite of new mechanics and powers to the game. The symbiote, featuring its own unique skill tree, Spider-Man 2 has clearly been a long-awaited sequel for many fans, already breaking records for Sony. Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man 2's launch has already broken records for the studio. Spider-Man 2's release day was more than 2.5 million copies of the game sold within 24 hours of its debut. The sales reportedly make Spider-Man 2 the fastest-selling game from PlayStation Studios to date, toppling the previous record set by last year's God of War Ragnarok. Ragnarok would go on to sell more than 5 million copies in the first week following its launch. The record-setting performance of Spider-Man 2 comes as the game has seen critical acclaim leading up to its release. Spider-Man 2 boasts an impressive score of 91 on the Metacritic, making it tied for Insomniac's highest-rated game alongside beloved classic like Spiral, Year of the Dragon, Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal. Fans and critics alike have praised the game for its impressive open world and boss fights, featuring new villains like Mysterio and Lizard alongside returning characters like Mr. Negative. Spider-Man 2's early success. You know what? I kind of laugh at the word Mr. Negative because you know what that reminded me of? Let me take a little stroll down memory lane for you guys. All right. So a few years back, I used to hang out with like the new age hippie spiritual community. All right. Weird community, if I've ever seen one. Do not hang out with them if you don't want to get involved with, and you don't want to see a bunch of mindless hippies being like, well, the Bible is all peace and hippie stuff, peace and love. No, the Bible is not peace and love. Actually, the Bible has a lot of very, very dangerous things in it, which if you sit there and read it, you learn it, because I've learned that recently too. It has some very, very, like, gruesome, dark stuff in it. So, I would go and I would explain realistic stuff to them, and he'd be like, well, stop being so negative, man. I don't know why you're so negative. Stop being negative. And it's like, no, I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic, and you guys are just kind of stupid. So, yeah, so I didn't get the name as Mr. Negative, but it makes me laugh when I see something like that, because it's like, a lot of people do that. A lot of people who don't read the Bible, a lot of people like hippies, they're like, oh, don't be so negative. But reality of the truth is, there's a point in your life where you have to be negative, because you have to realize that the person sometimes you're accepting in might not be, okay, so example. Um people didn't agree with my side on Sniper Wolf's incident, and that would have been considered as a negative. There would be like, well, why are you supporting a criminal? And it's like, I'm not, because I don't actually know her. And second, I'm not supporting a criminal because Sniper Wolf, the chances are Sniper Wolf was bullied to a point where she went out and did that. And God justified that. He felt like it needed to be done by giving her a blessing. Now, she came out on top with that. But remember, God will bless the people. If somebody's in such a bad way and they go out and do something, God blesses those people. Because I've been in situations where I did something really, really bad, and I'd be like, well, I think something bad's about to happen. And it turned out nothing bad at all happened. A lot of it was praise for the good thing I did, even though, a lot of it was praise for me standing up for myself. And that's where a lot of people don't understand it. They'll be like, oh, you're being so negative. No, sometimes we need that negativity in our life, because God has taught me, and the Bible has taught me, it's okay to be negative sometimes, especially when you're standing up for yourself. And if you did the right thing, you'll get a blessing out of it. And that's what happened with Sniper Wolf. She didn't lose her channel. She didn't lose anything. She got a blessing. And chances are, behind the scenes, she was getting bullied by somebody, which wasn't being told, and probably will never be told, because it's not our business. But the reality of the truth is, you have to remember that there's two sides to every story. So you might not even be seeing the one side, and for YouTube not to take her down, that was a blessing. Maybe that was God, God being like, well, she did the right thing in my eyes because she stood up for herself. And, maybe that did need to happen. Just some food for thought out there. Not everybody being negative is being negative for a reason of being negative. Sometimes they're being negative because they're trying to point something out to you that needs to be paid attention, and before it's too late, something bad might happen. Like it just things like that with me. I'll do that. I'm not in that very. I am not a negative person unless I feel some sort of way about something, and I'm in a lot of situations where I'll tell you, hey, don't go do that. I'm warning you, don't go do that, because if something negative happened, normally something negative happens. And if I sit here and, if I can sit here and pray and see stuff happen in my life, then yes, God is real, and you have to believe it. No, God will help you through really, really tough situations. And for me, the most negative situation I got in trouble for was my channel being taken down. And the thing is, those guys kept coming in and being weirdos. I stood up for myself, and I didn't get a blessing out of it, but I knew what I was doing was right. In my heart, and even in the Bible, it states that kind of stuff is a sin. What Crackling Gringlo and all those guys were doing is a sin. It's not accepted by God. But what they did was unjustifiable as well. And I'm only talking about this because Mr. Negative, I used to get called along the lines of Mr. Negative, because I was so realistic about stuff that people didn't like that about me. So, people like Sniper Wolf's incident, she may have been negative, but she was negative for a right reason, and God accepted it as it was, and that's why she didn't get her channel terminated or taken off of YouTube. Now, Mudahar, he probably realized that he was in a bad situation too, and he needed to stop doing because he realized it was probably going to get worse for him because if what he was doing was literally harassing her, and that's why I say you got to stop. If I'm warning you about something, if I am saying something to you about something, there's a chance that I feel like there's something there that's deeper that might be happening that I feel some sort of way about. And I know for a fact that in some of my situations, I can just tell that sometimes I need to stick up for myself and I get myself in some shitty situations sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's, I'm not in jail for it, and nor did God punish me for it. So therefore, like, punishment is like, well, I try not to be so negative with that statement. But yes, God lets us know what we did was right, even if it felt like it was bad. There's times I do things that are bad, and I get a blessing for it. Just letting you guys know that not everything that's bad is actually bad. Sometimes people, sometimes multiple people will work against you when you're negative. And that's people winning. That's not God winning. That's not God justifying anything. The reason people win is because nobody's paying attention to what God's saying. So if you're seeing multiple people go after one person, chances are the person that everybody's chasing after is more than likely not the person that's the bad person. More than likely, there's multiple people in that group that's chasing that person that is the bad person, and it needs to be paid attention to because right now we're in a time where the people who click up, team up, are the ones that are usually getting the people who are not bad into really bad situations. And just remember, it's not always about the side with the most people. Sometimes the people by themselves are the ones that are blessed, and that's why God put them there to see if they can handle and withstand, certain situations. But when you take up for a lot of people on the other side, there's a big problem there, and that needs to stop because that just goes to show you how easily somebody can speak and a human being could win over a God. And that's unfortunate that happens, but that's just the way that's just something I've noticed since I've been reading the Bible, is that people are the bad people that are usually bad and wrong and know how to talk are usually the ones that have multiple people on their side. That's why you don't try to see me persuading people a lot. I'll sit here all day long, and if somebody accuses me of something, I'll be like, this is what happened. This is why I'm always like, this is what happens when I do stuff. I get accused. People don't like it, and people don't take into consideration that all those people coming after me for it, they're more than likely wrong. And that's the truth. So let me get back to this, and I'm probably gonna put this up on my other channel. I'm gonna go and talk about this, and bring it up on my other channel about how, like, maybe the person in a situation where multiple people are after them are not always wrong after all. So I'll look for that later on my other channel. But I'm gonna finish out here. It's 12 o'clock right now, so Spider-Man 2's early success has already seen many fans speculate on how the superhero game will impact other Insomniac Marvel projects. Marvel Wolverine has already drawn several comparisons to the several massively popular web-slinging series, with many fans expected to see mechanics introduced in the Spider-Man game added to Wolverine. Some fans also have speculated that the heavy focus placed on Venom within Spider-Man 2 could lead to a spin-off focused on the iconic villain. Spider-Man 2's historic launch should spell good game to come for fans of the franchise. I read that so wrong, but yeah, it's basically stating how Spider-Man has done extremely well in the past few days. So, all right, that's it for me. I'm out of here. If you guys like this, go follow my channel. I'm really looking for followers. I've been, I hate having a channel down, but hey, it's down because, again, a couple people went after me and decided to take it down. They did a witch hunt on me like they always do. That's the thing, is even if you feel like a person is a bad person and multiple people are going after them, chances are they might not even be a bad person. Chances are they might just be dealing with the wrath of people because people don't like what they do. And you got to remember, that happens to everybody a lot. We've seen that situation hugely with Sniper Wolf, where she had bunches and bunches of people after her, and she didn't do anything wrong. And I'm a person who has bunches and bunches of people going after me. And more than likely, I don't do anything wrong. I'll stand up for myself. And the last time I stood up for myself in events, I didn't get in trouble because because nothing of what I did was troublesome. The one of the people that came after me, they got spoken to about what they did to me, and I was like, I don't want you getting in trouble, but you need to be talked to about this. And they did. They got talked to. So my thing is like, always remember there are two sides to the story. If more people are falling on one side, chances are there's a lie. There is a lie coming from that side that has all those people. And trust me, that's how that always works. Everybody in my life is good at lying, and they'll have multiple people on their side before anybody sticks up for me. And I've seen that recently, where I am the strongest man that walks alone, and God keeps blessing me. And you know what happens when God blesses me? Those people hate it because they know they're wrong with God, and they know that more than likely that I'm not, and God sees that I am not wrong, so therefore I get blessed. And that's where people are trying to figure out why I do so great at things. It's because God has not blessed you because you're being a jerk to people that are not literally doing anything. You have to remember, this stuff shows in life. It shows. It's best to leave. If you're seeing one person be attacked by multiple people, having things taken out of their life, and having their mother, somebody, their friends, continuously blame them, chances are somebody spoke about them to somebody and lied and altered a lie to make them really, really look bad and made up fake evidence and had multiple people step in. That's how that shit works. Trust me. God blessed me more times than God blesses me a lot. And when God blesses me and he sees his blessings being taken out, guess what happens to the people? They get punished. They get a punishment in their life somewhere, and you're like, well, why is this happening to me? It's happening to you because you're a jerk, because you don't understand, and you're also not perceiving that you're doing something wrong to somebody, but it's okay. It's okay. Keep doing it. I'm going to keep getting blessed. Anyway, take it easy, and I'm out of here, and you all have a wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll have a video up today. Since my theory of Legend of Zelda and Ocarina of Time and Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask got taken down, I have to go and rebuild it. So I'm going to be rebuilding that and doing that video again. So you guys will have that one later on today. Look forward to that. And I'll be streaming later on tonight on my other channel over on Kick. So look forward to that. I'm going to be streaming Skyward Sword over there here. I actually started streaming it last night, but I'm streaming this game right now, which if you want, you can stop over and play it. And that's about it for me, guys. I'm out of here. Remember, always remember, just because you see one person in a hellfire and a bunch of people are blaming it, chances are that person's not wrong. Just a friendly reminder. Anyway, take it easy.